Republican Representative Dan Crenshaw will likely face an ethics investigation following accusations that he engaged in a smear campaign against a female vet who alleges that she was sexually assaulted in a VA facility. This story has gotten no attention, none, zero. And it's important to shed light on it because the allegations are serious and there are members of the House who do want an ethics investigation into these allegations. Now, Newsweek reports that the report from the Veteran Affairs Inspector General said that based on witness testimonies and documents, Crenshaw participated in an effort led by VA Secretary Robert Wilkie, a Trump appointee, of course, and some of his top deputies to disparage the reputation and credibility of a woman who said she was sexually assaulted last year at a VA facility. In fact, the woman who, he served with this woman, by the way, in the military, and her name is Andrea Goldstein. It's unclear what the specific allegations of sexual assault are. That hasn't really been reported yet. But what we do know is that there was, it appears, a concerted effort in order to damage her credibility so people wouldn't believe what she was alleging. The IG report said no criminal evidence was found, but that some of its investigation could not be completed in part because Crenshaw and others refused to cooperate. However, it said that attempts by Wilkie, top VA officials, and Crenshaw to erode the female veteran's credibility by creating a narrative that she has made false sexual assault claims in the past were, quote, unprofessional and disparaging. And Wilkie did in fact try to disparage Goldstein's account that she was sexually assaulted at the VA facility by attempting to collect all sorts of damaging material, Oppo research on her that could call her credibility into question later in the future. Two of Wilkie's top deputies, so these are people who work closely with him, Chief of Staff Pam Powers and Brooks Tucker, the then Assistant Secretary for Congressional and Legislative Affairs, told the OIG that Wilkie made remarks during a daily staff meeting in October of 2019 about Goldstein's reputation based on information they thought came from Crenshaw. There's also evidence indicating that Crenshaw had shared what was referred to as damaging information about the victim here when they met up at an event. And then we know that that happened because later Wilkie wrote an email about it to some of his staffers. The OIG report concluded that while it could not substantiate that Wilkie investigated or caused others to investigate the background of Goldstein, they received sworn testimony from senior department officials that Wilkie and others referred to Goldstein, quote, in denigrating terms, openly questioned her credibility, and reportedly ascribed a political motive to her reporting of the incident. And so again, this isn't getting much attention. Crenshaw denies this, but as the Inspector General referenced in the report, there is evidence indicating that Crenshaw was trying to help Wilkie with, essentially smearing this woman and questioning her credibility.
So I don't know who's right or wrong about that, and I don't know how anybody would know if she's. I don't even know what her allegations are, let alone if they're true, right? But here's things we do know. Crenshaw said that he did not talk to Wilkie or the VA department about her, and that's definitely a lie because people inside the VA department said that they got the information from Crenshaw. So if he's lying about it, that is not a good sign, okay? And people should ask him all the time, instead of asking him about superficial stuff like his Mission Impossible video and comments that comedians or talk show hosts make about him. They should ask him substantive questions. Why did you lie about not discussing this case with Veteran Affairs? And then secondly, if you think that she is not telling the truth, well, there's nothing wrong with sharing that publicly. You want to get at the truth, right? Oh, you're doing it behind the scenes. That's another indication that you actually think she is telling the truth. So you want to torpedo her legitimate allegations behind the scenes and then lie about it to cover it up. Because right now that's what his actions indicate. If he's got a different explanation, he should stop lying and say it publicly. Otherwise, it looks terrible. Like he's smearing another veteran who, everybody talks about what a hero he is because of his injury. but she was assaulted and she's a veteran, and where's her sympathy? So if that's true, right? And so we don't know anything about the case because again, they're trying to bury her behind the scenes.
Yeah, and Cenk, you referenced this video that Crenshaw put out, and that is getting a lot of attention in the media. And I mean, obviously what I'm about to say is speculation, but my speculation is he put out the goofy video in an effort to distract from this pretty damaging story and the possibility that he could be facing an ethics investigation in the House. And so what video am I referring to? Well, we're about to show you, and it's just so over the top that I feel like, how could this not be meant for a distraction? Let's take a look.
The American story is one of true exceptionalism. It's built on the greatest ideas in history. This victory tonight, it's about you. It's about defining those. Sorry, folks. I'll be right back.
What do we got? Well, it's not over in Georgia. Senate races went to a runoff.
What are we up against?
You'll never believe this.
Far-left activists are attempting to gain full and total control of the US government.
What's our situation on the ground?
We have two patriots down there, Senator Loeffler and Senator Perdue. Great fighters with a great message. They just need a little backup. Last question, what do you want to bring?
Bring everyone.
So there's Dan Crenshaw presenting himself as some sort of hero, when in reality, behind the scenes, he's helping to destroy the reputation and the credibility of a fellow veteran who's alleging that she's been sexually assaulted at a VA facility. That's what's going on here.
That video was part Mission Impossible, part Bane, by the way. I mean, almost exactly from the Batman movies. Bane is the villain that jumps out of the plane, and part Austin Powers. Yeah, I said it. So he's just missing a hairless cat, and sharks with freaking laser beams on their heads. Anyways, so the reality is, by the way, on the video itself, Loeffler and Perdue are great patriots. They made millions of dollars in trades after they got secret information in Senate hearings about COVID. They went on to minimize it. Perdue said it's not that big of a deal publicly to the people in Georgia who then got sick and some of them died. Meanwhile, he called up his broker and made millions in trades so he could profit off of it. Loeffler and Perdue dumped their stocks in companies that would be affected, but then they bought stocks in like telemarketing companies, so for teleworking, I should say. So because they knew everybody's gonna have to work from home, they bought teleworking stock. They bought drug company stocks. These guys are the elitist crooks. And this guy's like, I'm going on a rescue mission to help my millionaire friends steal more money. We might even get $1 million. What a joke Crenshaw is.
Thanks for watching The Young Turks, really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.